Yep.
Okay, what's up? Shut up. Okay,
What's up? Shut up.
Shutting up is what a lot of people did today. They didn't put up, they shut up.
They acted like they were going to go
Instead
do
of
the fucking
showing up.
business, but they didn't show up. It was like some of my old employees after a fucking payday.
Ooh.
You know they're not coming in the next day. So,
Sons of bitches.
first of all, let's get comfortable here because I'm excited for this one. I'm a little bummed that we couldn't be there to enjoy it in person.
Shoot the podcast on site.
Today's the day of the Area 51 raid, ladies and gentlemen. Bud Light has sponsored the event. I'm wearing my alien gear. He's in his military hat just to arrest me in case I cross the threshold of trespassing.
You can ask my friends about jumping my fence. Like, you get dead legs, maybe get shot. We'll see.
Yeah, it's so they had well, first of all, let's just start it off by saying welcome to the Bernie Dyke podcast episode of Keegs Kota. It's like 24 now. We're at like number 24. So shout out to all the YouTube viewership, Facebook,
Everybody,
Spotify,
everywhere, all
Apple,
across the world.
all you guys.
Moscow, Nevada, New Mexico, London, England.
London and England, everybody that's listening everywhere, thank you very much. But let's kick it right off with the Area 51 raid. They had a couple of these, it started off as a Facebook joke. Some kid made a thing with a date, like an event.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, you can find the video on YouTube of like the news channel going to his house after, couple months after, once it hit like 4 million people or something.
So yeah, he's out there saying, we're going to have this event. It's got over 2 million people say they're going to go to this thing. And yeah, so only 100 or so people showed up. But the crazy part is the town that they're showing up into doesn't have like more than 5,000 people in it, or something like that. They have no idea how to handle, a couple thousand of people coming in. So they got a bunch of people that went down there. There actually a few days ago there was some Dutch YouTubers that showed up there and they tried to make a break for it, and they arrested their ass and fined them a couple grand each. Put him in jail for a few days.
And then what was it this morning, like 3:30 in the morning, there was some like army vet or he was some type of veteran, like jumped the fences. He actually was dusting he was running. He was dusting these dudes. They couldn't catch him.
They couldn't catch the dude. He's a Florida man.
Didn't it take them like 20 or 30 minutes to detain him?
Oh yeah, they couldn't get him, man. Dude. They finally ended up catching him, but there was about 100 people at the site the last time I checked, and I think they arrested a dude for pissing on the gate. And they detained some female, but they haven't said why. But for the most part, nobody's made a break for it yet. They're all too scared.
Nice.
There's the one guy on the news. Did you see the news article? It was like, reporting here from, the area of Area 51 where people are going to be doing it. And the dude did the Neuro or whatever. The
Naruto.
The Naruto run. He blasted behind him in the background at the end of it. So you just see him like shoot by. And it's hilarious, dude. That dude goes down as a legend.
The only thing I saw, because I didn't really look too much into it other than the article you sent me, was the whole group of people that were lined up like in a rectangle shape, which I didn't know why. And then there was a bunch of people with like razors and campers, and they were all camped out, four-wheelers and stuff.
It blows my mind, man, because, I've been thinking about this thing that we're living in a simulation for a while, but then stupid shit like this happens, and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way, even in the simulation. Probably. It could be part of the simulation, but that's a crazy thing to think of, right, is that this isn't real, but it's part of a simulation that is so in depth that everything smells, it's a real simulation.
Yeah, it would have to be very... very complex in order to have all that feeling.
All right, so say it is a simulation, and we get to the point in the simulation where we re-simulate and re-simulate and re-simulate because
like reincarnation, like re-simulation.
So my question is, though, if you create the simulation, so say the first time this whatever came around and we got technologically advanced enough to create a simulation that maps the brain and every single thing on the planet to the point where we're inside of the simulation is 100% real. Right. Are you God? Did you just create life? Because in that world...
No, because you're not the one... Well, in a sense you are, because you're running your own simulation, but you're not the one controlling the simulation. So, essentially, that's like...
But God doesn't claim to control it.
But that's the American dream, though.
That's what you have free will for.
Yeah, that is what free will is.
So that's my question. If this simulation, because I always think like crazier shit than that, like maybe some of these abduction stories are real, and what they're getting out of them is like spinal fluid, sperm, and eggs, and then they go create races of humans on other planets. That's why they always pick like a basic person that's a worker, and they're gonna go recreate them on another planet. And I mean, then
like
you got
they just
like
made
slaves.
a bunch of badass workers to go build the pyramids in Egypt.
Right.
They just like,
or what about like,
and just drop like 1,000 people there.
if you think about it like this, if say we were on a planet and we achieved artificial intelligence and we either finally faded out and the AI ran the planet, or we stayed on the planet and we wanted to continue to farm other planets, right? Like distant galaxies. But you know, we can't make it, so we again make the AI things to go there. Or do you like infect what are they called? What are the things? Comets and shit like that. Do you infect some of those things with like the meaning for life? You know, the stuff for life.
Well,
so when they land on a planet, it kind of terraforms the planet in a sense.
That's one of the theories on what happened with Earth is that there was what are they tardigrades? The little tiny.
The little pig-looking things that swim in the water.
The little super tiny, like the size of an atom, and they can go through all kinds of different temperature change, freezing cold and super hot. And the idea, or one of the theories was there was like a comet that had some tardigrades and some fungus. It had hit another planet and bounced off of it, and it picked up some fungus, you know, some type of mycelium, like mushrooms. And when it hit Earth, the fungus started to grow because we had the right heat, we had the right humidity. That fungus started to spread. The tardigrades started to eat the fungus, and all this, you know, evolution and change started happening. Which, I mean, sounds like a realistic.
You ever
theory.
think about?
I mean, it sounds more realistic than like the Big Bang. Like, you know, the size of a pen tip exploded and the entire universe was created. Like, that's just hard to fathom.
No, I've even thought to the point was, what if there's some crazy race out there that figured out how to create stars, and they just go around the planets or just go around the universe and create stars?
You mean just like shoot balls of fire through the sky?
Basically, like, no, they concoct it and then they get the fuck out of there, and then the star is like created. They have a way of doing it, like with a black hole.
Oh, like they land on like a comet and then like basically just like erupt the comet.
What
and
if a
explode
black
it and
hole was your mouth and there's an opposite end of the black hole that just shits out planets?
The black anus?
Yeah, it just eats a bunch of stuff and just shits it out, and there's like planets. It just like plops out new planets and stars.
Well, I think, isn't that kind of the theory? Is that like you get sucked into another dimension?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the other side of the dimension.
But here's my thought on like if they created from themselves these whatever, like they figured out a way to make this little microorganism they could put on a comet or whatever, an asteroid,
rocket, fucking SpaceX.
You just make an asteroid and push it in the trajectory of certain planets that you want it to hit, and you have the math all done out like a simulation, so you would know. But here's the thing, like your dad and my dad, we act like them. We act like them, and we do things that they didn't even teach us to do, but it's just genetic. Like, you just can't, like, that's, so what if our genetics also ingrained the technology is eventually we hit that point? Or what if they even put the dinosaurs on the planet just because they knew they would die, and then it would create fossil fuel, which would project us into the industrial revolution of using fuel and combustion, and think about that. Like,
so maybe they shoot over like lizards with some type of technology to make them grow at like some crazy rate. This is where I think the simulation thing comes in, because if you're going to do something like that, you need to have something that you can do a simulation and figure out what is going to happen when I push that asteroid at this degree, and this degree, and I push it this hard and it hits this planet, what's going to happen? Yeah.
And they're running simulations to the point where... But so when you grow on the planet, though, is my point is we get to this point with technology that, again, we create AI and we create these satellites and we create another standpoint for them.
You're saying a simulation in the sense that we're like a science experiment simulation?
Well, yeah.
Or that we're some type of like technological, like in a matrix, like we're plugged in somewhere and we're just a blob of jelly.
No, I think that we were probably on a planet that got to a point in a certain way, and they took their genetics and they took their DNA and all this stuff, and they created this crazy simulation to figure out what would happen if they push rocks at certain planets with this little microbe that they embedded with our DNA on it somehow. Right. And when we get to a certain point, it's like having another, like when you're putting up things for satellites for cell phones. You put another one up out in the middle of nowhere. Now you got service,
Yeah,
right?
you can reach further.
So if you send a rock that eventually creates something so far away that you never even had to do anything but just push the rock out there, and you got time, and you started doing this a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
And now you got
maybe
planets
that's some of the
together,
asteroids and comets that are just flying around the
and that's what I'm saying. And
atmosphere
maybe
right now,
that's why
or the
we're when you hear that maybe there are aliens that are humanoid. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, you know the theory of like we eventually get so smart that over evolution over time, our heads begin to grow and we start to look like the little grays with the giant head. And
I already look like one of these things.
We don't even talk because we communicate just through like brain waves, and we can like talk to each other with our minds, and we have less. Like our whole structure basically deflates except for our giant heads because we become so powerful with mind power. Like, what if that happens? So you could be right. So say like there was a planet Mars, and we inhabited it, and we destroyed it with everything, and by that time, thousands and thousands and thousands of years, we evolved and looked like aliens. Well, they sent some of our DNA over to another planet. Boom, started it there. But those grays, those alien-looking, humanoid evolved people, are still living out in that universe, and they just created another planet, basically.
I think we're already starting to get to that point where you're starting to be able to kind of not read people's minds, but feel them. Because anytime you're with like your significant other for a while, like there's certain patterns that you can pick up on. But like last night,
do you get synced up on her period? Or
yeah, absolutely, man. We run the same day.
Yeah, nice.
But like the other night, I looked over at her and I just told her like, "Hey, have you texted this friend yet that you were working with? A few months ago." That you haven't worked with, and because she has a problem with that where she forgets to communicate with people. And I just turned around and I was like, hey, did you text blah 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 today? And she goes, or did you text her? And she goes, that's so creepy, I texted her an hour ago. Like, but I had no idea. I just like, it was like we're on the same page, and it's super weird, dude.
Well, and that happens all the time. Like everyone that I know is like, you call someone, they're like, dude, I was literally just like talking about you, or I was literally I was in the middle of a text to you, or I was about to call you, or I was just thinking about you earlier. I was meaning to call you when I get off work. Like that shit happens all the time.
Do you think it gets to a point though where you can do it with people that you're not familiar with? That's my question. It's like I think the people that that you can read the patterns enough that energy comes off.
You start to sync up a little bit.
Weird. Like I remember one day I knew my wife was supposed to be coming home, and I was like, man, I just feel like Crystal should be coming or something. She should be here. And I couldn't figure it out, and I walked in the house from the patio, and my phone had just like shut down from being
your
a
screen
phone call.
just blacked out.
And I was like, damn, she was calling me when I was standing outside looking for her. Like I could feel it. Like it's such a weird, I don't know, humans are weird, man. But then we're also completely primitive apes at the same time. Because let me tell you a little story about why if you're not an actual handyman, you do not touch plumbing and electrical in your house. You just don't do it. And like most of us already understand that. I thought I was one of those people.
Nice.
But apparently I'm not one of those people. And so last week my shower stopped working. And my wife tells me, and I go in and I check it out, and I think, yep, it's not working. Handle thing, yep, must be the thing on the inside, because I Googled it. And what do they tell you? Don't go on WebMD, bro. Go to the doctor first. Figure it out. Or you start at the cheapest thing possible and you work your way down. And I know these rules, but
don't follow them.
I don't always follow them. So I went and I got the new little piece for the shower. I came back, I went to put it in. And water's hard out here, man. There's a little calcification on that thing, and instead of working it and getting a little tap tap tap, no, He-Man,
just
power of the universe had to get in there. And what you need to learn about copper is not meant to be twisted or bent, unless you're a professional bending copper. So I blew the valve out, and we had to call a plumber. But right before the plumber came, my brother-in-law just asked me, hey, did you ever pull the shower head off and check and see if there was anything in there? And I didn't, like an idiot. And he pulled it off, and guess what? There's this little piece of plastic in there that must have got through the water that was blocking the shower head. So after, the plumber came and fixed my problem for $1,000 almost, it was just a piece of plastic. So don't touch plumbing. Don't touch that stuff. Don't be Shrek over here.
Or just, think about it a little more clearly before you do touch it.
Call a buddy that's not a crazy psycho like me that has patience.
Yeah,
I did
a
that,
friend
but
that's
it's
trying
still,
not to break your shit.
Randy doesn't want to tell me no. he doesn't want to try to tell me not to do something, and I, he-manned it, man. That happens sometimes. So, that's a tough lesson learned. And then, to top it off, that night, my wife came home and said, we got to go out. I told people at work we were going out. And I said,
You're like, fuck, I don't want to go out
I
now.
just dropped a grand on something that was a piece of plastic.
I want to stay in for the next week.
Forever. And she said, yeah, I told him we're going, but it's midget wrestling. And before anybody crucifies me, that's what it was called at the door. So I'm not like objectifying these young, small, short people. That's what they called themselves. It was midget wrestling.
Did you just call them young? You know their age now.
Yeah, they were younger. One of them was, at least. So
hey, words are only as powerful as people make them.
We had it was kind of a seedy event. I showed up dressed like I was going to a rap video shoot, probably. I'd been drinking because I was upset I broke some stuff. And I showed up wearing like Jordans and ripped jeans, and it was a cowboy redneck event outside in like a rodeo area. Anybody that's ever been to the Roadrunner bar knows it's kind of a seedy place if you're not from that area.
My buddy actually just played there like the night before, the night after that you were there. Shout out Tony Martinez, play some awesome bluegrass country style music. He can shred the guitar.
So yeah, I did that, and then I got to babysit my 3-year-old niece the next day for the first time by myself. Which
how'd that go?
It was cool, man. We didn't have any of those little jungle places when I was a kid.
Oh, did you go to that one right over here, the Uptown Jungle right by my house?
No, that's the next one we're gonna go to. But we went to the there's one out on the off the 51 like Cactus, and we went to this little party jungle place.
Why the fuck did you go all the way over there?
Oh, because we wanted to. I know. I tried to get her to go to that one. It was actually cheaper to go to the other one.
By $3?
No, it was like it was. I don't remember what it was. We're gonna go to that one. That one's an easy one because it's next to us, so we had time to kill.
Right.
So we were trying to kill time. But yeah, that was kind of interesting, man. But running around with a 3-year-old when you're not used to it, 3.5-year-old.
Yeah.
That's definitely an exhausting game that I'm not used to, and I don't know if I'm trying to get used to it. So that was
I think you're trying to get used to it.
I don't know. I keep telling myself different things. And then,
nobody's ready.
Did you just pull Antonio Brown over there?
Oh, I didn't. That was actually my foot.
Oh man, I thought he was pulling Antonio Brown. Dude, how many people are trying to get Antonio's money? Tony.
Dude, everybody.
Tony, put the bag away, bro. Put the money.
Everybody's trying to get that money.
Bury that shit in the ground. First you got
banging your fucking trainer, blow a load on her back, and tell your buddies, still banging her. She comes and hunts you down, hangs out with you in Vegas or whatever, still banging her, and then her and her mom want to open like a gym or some shit.
They were in Miami when they went to the strip club.
Oh, the strip club. That's right.
Yeah,
she came to the strip club.
But here's my thing on that though. She got greedy. She tried to make the play for the money like early. She tried to make the play, and like I'm tossed up where I don't understand. I don't know if he continued this on just to be a dick because it was like, I can't believe you tried to extort me for money.
I haven't seen her. Is she hot?
Probably.
I would imagine.
I would
imagine she's fairly hot. If she's a personal trainer, maybe she's a butterface, but I bet she's got a banging body.
It's like this.
Come on, you think Antonio Brown can't bang hotter chicks? Come on,
bro. All the shit is coming out. Literally all the shit. We watched the video today of him farting in front of a doctor.
So this doctor is extorting him, trying to sue him for farting in his practice. And it's not like Antonio Brown was leaning and pushing him out. He wasn't, like doing anything.
He's ripping farts standing there.
He's ripping farts standing there. The guy's standing there with, he's like doing his body fat. Or he's doing something on him. He's got like the gel and the little like sonogram deal. And he's like sitting there checking on him. And you just hear like a little burp on the first one. And then Antonio Brown kind of turns, look at the camera, and smiles, and then a little bit later, you hear this like this longer one, and then he just kind of laughs. And his buddy's like, "Man, I got to get out of here," and he's filming it. So I think the reason maybe that he's trying to sue, because you can't sue someone for flatulence.
But I agree, though. I think that's got to be what it is.
It's
the
probably
fact that
because
he posted it and embarrassed him.
That's like defacing that guy and embarrassing him, and
he fart faced him.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
He's
man.
like, "Yo, first of all, I didn't give you permission to put me on your YouTube channel. I didn't sign any fucking waiver, so I need money for that. And also, that's embarrassing."
I told you, bro. It's all about the social media.
Yeah.
It's all, and he went viral. And look, I watched the video. You watched the video. It's crazy, dude. Like, I might be right on the last one. And you know what? I got mad at myself because for some reason I thought after all the editing last time that he did have a Super Bowl ring, and I was so mad at myself that I was wrong. But I was right. You know, he didn't have a Super Bowl ring, so I'm just going back on the record saying I might not have botched as much shit on the last one as I thought. Yeah, he does not.
No, he doesn't have a Super Bowl ring.
He might at the end of the year, though, as long as he doesn't go to jail.
Fuck, man.
Should we just get into it real quick with football? We don't even need to get like too crazy.
Let's do a quick one because I only had an hour from the start of this, so I still got 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna cut this one short though. We're gonna try to give you guys a 30-minute episode this week.
Sometime later this week.
Oh, you want to keep going then?
Well, right now.
Well, we're already at 21.
Oh yeah, no. We're gonna make this an hour. We're good.
Sorry guys, Dakota said no. We're doing an hour.
We're doing an hour. We can't cut it short on you guys. We got too much to think about, too much to say.
Well, we had some big quarterbacks
real quick.
Go ahead.
Let's touch on the football shit from last week because I looked a little more into it, and you were like, if Gronkowski's coming back, it's going to be to this Patriots team this year. I went back and watched his little speech where he started crying when he was like leaving football and stuff.
He ain't coming back.
He's not coming back.
He's not coming back. But I just wanted to get the viewers hyped up.
He quit playing football because he said like he just doesn't feel the same about it anymore. It's like when you fell in love with someone and then you just stop, you don't feel the same way anymore, and you just gotta leave.
It's like when you were working really hard to get the money, and you got it.
Still doing
and then
that.
you were like, I got it, so now fuck off. I don't need you anymore. That's kind of what that is, but he doesn't want to be completely rude. You know, he wants to kind of like save face a little bit. So
yeah.
But it was a crazy week last week for quarterbacks in the league. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jesus, Philly's down to their... Was it Philly?
No, not Philly.
Or was it the Jets? It was Philly. Philly's down to their third-string quarterback.
Wait,
no, it was the Jets because it was Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah,
they're down. Dude, that poor kid.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not Philly. Carson Wentz is still there.
Yeah, you're right. The second-string quarterback's ankle looked like he pulled a freaking... Hayward from the Celtics, dude. It just did not look good. He looked like he broke it, but they said he didn't break it. They were third stringing along, and they said that if that quarterback got hurt, Le'Veon Bell was going to have to go in and quarterback. Did you know that he's the fourth? He's the backup?
Fourth string, yeah. They got to run a Wildcat offense. That might not be a terrible idea.
That would be wild to watch. But, yeah, so that was interesting. You got Big Ben out with the elbow. Is it elbow? Right?
Collarbone or elbow?
No,
yeah.
Ben. I thought it was elbow for Ben.
Yeah.
And then thumb. Was it thumb for Breeze?
Yep.
So that's two huge quarterbacks out already. The poor Saints,
yeah, but
man.
you know what? Hey, not the poor Saints. So Teddy Bridgewater is. I think he's going to manage to pull some stuff together. They're still going to have a good season.
Then poor Drew Brees.
Poor Drew Brees.
Because he deserved to be in the Super Bowl last year, and now he just got cut short again.
He would deserve to be in the Super Bowl this year again too, and he's just not going to be now. But Teddy Bridgewater, you know what? I got faith in that kid. I like him.
I made some moves. I grabbed one of the wide receivers. I'm not going to tell anybody who I grabbed because I'm not giving y'all none of the sleeper picks no more. Y'all figure it out on your own.
Oh, yeah, I picked up Marquise Brown. He did me pretty well.
But I grabbed one of the wide receivers from the Cowboys and dropped Amendola, which might bite me in the ass, but I'm not worried too much about it. And I'm making some moves this week, man. I lost the first 2 weeks, and I figured I played it kind of safe the first 2 weeks. So,
if anyone hasn't picked up Gardner Minshew, I mean, if you want a quarterback that you want to throw on your bench in case you need one later on, or you're in a 2-quarterback league, Gardner Minshew's not doing too terrible, man. That guy's doing all right. What is he, like 25 years old? They showed a picture of him next to Tom Brady. Like, which one of these guys is 42 and which one of these guys is 25?
Wait, is that the dude
with the mustache on
and the mullet?
No, he doesn't really have a mullet. He's Jacksonville because Nick Foles went down with the broken clavicle, with the broken collarbone.
Is that I think it is. He's from Florida, right?
I'm not sure.
I think I read some crazy stuff about him. Like, he's got some crazy stats about him that he does some wild stuff, and his dad wanted to name him like. Like he's the ultimate Florida man. I'm pretty sure that's what
Gardner Minshew. That's his name.
Google him real quick. I bet you it pulls up because ESPN put some stuff. I thought it was on him, but I could be wrong.
And Jalen Ramsey. Probably not likely, but there's a shot that the Cardinals could get Jalen Ramsey. I think he's still going to play this week, but there's a lot of trade offers going around for Jalen because he is a nightmare in the locker room apparently.
I'm sure a lot of these players are, man.
Yeah, a bunch of cunts.
Y'all's
a bunch of
They just think
cunts.
they're good, and they are. I mean, I get it, bro. If I was just really good at something like that, I would probably be an asshole too. Like, when this camera goes off, I treat Dakota like shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is podcast world over here, and I'm just like, I get mad at him all the time for no reason.
Yeah, what he does is he actually whips my left hamstring. Only that one spot. He whips it with one of the charging cables for a phone.
It's actually his charging cable that I won't give back to him. I don't even have a phone that uses it. I just use it to hit him.
He was like, you're leaving that thing here because I'm going to beat you with it every time.
It's extra thick.
And I was like, dude, that's like seems super racist that you'd whip me with the charging cable. And he's like, no, I'm not whipping you in the back. He's like, I'm whipping you in your left hamstring specifically. Seems like it's weird and it hurts a lot.
Hey, I actually
starting to get callous though.
I wanna bring something up because I watched I don't know if you are, but I'm a huge X-Men guy.
Hey, hold on.
We're done football.
Hold on. No. Run through a little more football.
I have nothing written down. I didn't have time to write stuff down for football.
Give it another 5 minutes for football.
Well, then you talk football. I don't want to talk.
Okay. So just because I've got friends that told me that are like, I hate when you guys jump from fucking conversation to conversation. You don't finish a story. You don't finish like a segment. You don't finish anything. It's right on the next thing. I'm like, I know it's the ADHD fucking productions over here.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll do a quick rundown. Bengals, AJ Green, not at practice yet. Expect him to be back. Buffalo, Singletary, the running back. He's been doing pretty well. Young kid. Frank Gore actually had a pretty good game.
Whoa.
This
Hold
week.
on. We got some breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Antonio Brown was just released from the Patriots.
Ooh.
Look that up because my sister just texted me. And hold on. I think my other one just texted me too.
Brown. My sister and my other sister. Which one's the other sister?
Well, no, I just saw that the other sister texted me
36 minutes ago. 18 minutes ago.
They released him.
Brown tweeting an apparent farewell to the Patriots, and Brown has indeed been released. The experiment lasted 11 days, and it came crashing down quickly. He was sued for sexual assault and rape one day after joining the Patriots. The final straw, by all appearances, came when he attempted to intimidate a second accuser who had emerged earlier this week via comments to SportsIllustrated.com. Thanks for the opportunity. Appreciate at Patriots, Brown tweeted late this afternoon. Brown will immediately become a free agent again. It could be that this time around he stays that way for a while.
Uh-oh. Hey, thanks for helping us win that game last week, bro.
Yeah.
We appreciate
anyone
it.
Anyone who had him in fantasy, if you started him, you got some decent points last week, and now you're going to drop him.
That's crazy, dude.
Huh.
He raped that girl. He definitely did it.
I mean, she was willing to be raped.
Now that he's not a Patriot, fuck that guy. Dude, you suck.
That guy.
Let me just tell you a little something about Antonio Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
My God.
That guy is a worthless piece of shit. I hope we didn't pay him any money. And yeah,
we
fuck
should
him.
Stop talking about him.
There it is. There. You know what? My sisters are a lot faster than the Sleeper app. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. And
for all you folks out there playing fantasy or you need your updates, if you got sisters, make sure you're in good graces with your sisters.
Yeah, talk to your sisters because honestly, they probably are better at fantasy football than you are.
First of all, chicks can dig up news like nothing.
Dude, chicks know what's going on.
And if they're your sisters and they know it's something that you like and you're passionate about, tell them to help you out.
That's why I don't want to forget. I want to talk about 2 movies that I feel like the critics and everybody's talking about completely flip-flopped and wrong. And they're chick movies.
All right,
but
fuck football.
Not.
We're off football.
All right, cool. All right, did you watch Captain Marvel?
No, I have not.
No. I didn't even go to the theater for Captain Marvel, but it was a big success.
I heard.
They made a shit ton of money.
I've been meaning to. It's not that I didn't want to watch it.
And it's not terrible. It's not a terrible movie, but when you're getting ready to watch the Avengers movies and everybody's telling you there's really no significance in it to watch the Avengers movies, I didn't go see it. Now, I didn't go see Dark Phoenix either. And that's the first X-Men movie that I did not go to the theaters to see, and I was kind of disappointed in myself because honestly, I'm more of an X-Men person than I am Avengers. The Avengers movies were good.
Right.
So we rented it the other night. Now, I've watched both movies, and I watched Captain Marvel twice because the first time I really didn't think it was that good, so I watched it again to make sure I wasn't being crazy.
Man, look at that. That's a true critic in you.
I had to make sure that I was tired. I was tired.
Okay, if you got excuses for why you thought that way, like
Well,
on
I
your
just
own
felt like-
own fault, then you watch it again. I get that. But if I watch a movie and I'm like, nah, wasn't that into it, I'm not gonna watch that shit again.
Well,
maybe
Crystal
ever.
didn't watch it, so you know how that goes.
Okay.
If your wife doesn't or your girl doesn't watch it, you got to watch it again
Yeah,
if you
yep.
finished it. So we watched Dark
Well,
Phoenix the other night.
Did you do like a little cooking and stuff while she's watching it? You're like, hey, you watch it, babe. I already saw it. I'm gonna kind of watch it from back here. I'm gonna do a few things.
I think so. I think that's how it did go, actually. But so we watched the Dark Phoenix movie the other night, and honestly, man, that movie was fucking 10 times better than Captain Marvel. The storyline, they could have led up to it a little bit better, but there were scenes with Quicksilver that were just fucking hilarious and really badass shots.
Which Quicksilver was it? The Quicksilver from the last X-Men?
Yeah, the one,
the like long hair, goofy, kind of nerdy one.
the young kid that's from American Horror Stories.
He had like shaggy hair, right?
Yeah.
He was in the X-Men where they were blowing up. The house was blown
Yep,
up, and
yep,
he
yep.
saved everybody.
He's from American Horror Stories.
He's my
and
favorite Quicksilver so
He's
far.
one of my favorite male actors coming up, and he was in American Horror Stories every single year. And we'll get to that
American
too.
Horror Stories always
Just
the
came
same
back.
actors.
Always, except I haven't seen him in the new episode we just watched last night.
Yeah.
But let me get back to the Dark Phoenix. He crushed it. You finally get to see Nightcrawler, the young kid Nightcrawler, snap.
Ooh.
You get to see him snap, lose his shit, and use his powers to really hurt people. And
I'll
let
have
me
to watch
tell you,
this.
that shit was badass.
Oh, yeah.
And I grew up watching the X-Men. The Dark Phoenix
And this-
storyline was important to me.
This isn't the same Nightcrawler that like is sleeping in the church in the X-Men movie. He's like sleeping in that church, and he's got like the big goofy teeth, and he's like French. Well, I mean, he's probably the same.
It's the young kid one where he's skinny, where they like the first class, X-Men First Class, where they get him together.
Okay.
But I didn't like him at first, but when they finally showed his anger, because that was another thing that bugged me about him is when you watch the cartoons back in the day, he was badass.
Oh yeah.
He was mean and he was badass.
And we've already talked about this, but Gambit, man, they got to give us the Gambit
me
the
a
world
Gambit.
deserves. We need Keanu Reeves for Gambit.
They're holding that in their back pocket, bro. They're holding it. But I will say the Dark Phoenix movie could have had a little bit better storyline. But saying that, I still think it was 2 to 3 times the movie Captain Marvel was. And I think
Makes
the
sense.
only reason that they got what they wanted out of Captain Marvel is because of the Avengers is so popular with kids. Because my generation,
Well, and-
like they don't have cartoons of X-Men anymore.
And there's not a ton of like female focused like superhero movies, right?
Like, dude, they killed off Mystique. They killed Jennifer Lawrence in that movie. I mean, I might have spoiled it for you, but
Yeah, thanks, bro.
you're fine. Like
Thanks, dude.
that's not the most important part of the whole movie.
No, I don't care about spoilers anyway.
But I'm just gonna say, like that movie right there.
what would you compare Captain Marvel to Wonder Woman? I know.
Oh no, hands
DC.
down. I'd probably give Wonder Woman. I might give Wonder Woman out of all 3 movies first place, just because it was
so
original.
It's better than Dark Phoenix. Because I thought Wonder Woman was great, man.
Yeah, but again, if I watch Dark Phoenix again, like I don't know, man, that's tough, and I might get killed for that. But Wonder Woman was really good, but
I thought it
the
was good.
powers, and if they really elaborated in Dark Phoenix, I think you'll hopefully see a bigger push with Disney owning
Did it seem like they were going to make a second one?
Well, they did a little teaser kind of at the very end of it, not in the credits, but before that, where they kind of could leave it open for Jean Grey to come back. But my problem is again, it was about the cartoons that gave Captain Marvel and Avengers all the power with the kids. And if you go back to us, like, do you remember Saturdays when we were kids?
Oh yeah, dude.
Watching
Saturday mornings.
X-Men on fucking Saturday morning?
First of all, don't disrespect me like that because I'm still a kid. I fight with my kids over what cartoons we're gonna watch. Like now, I'm gonna make them watch Dark Phoenix with me and be like, nope, you guys are watching this. This is women empowerment, and you guys are 5 years old. You know nothing about that, but I'm gonna instill it in you.
And you know
that
what
you're
I liked?
strong and powerful.
They didn't.
Jean Grey is one of the most.
She is the most.
Well, Jean Grey is.
She's the most
quite
powerful.
possibly not most significant.
Bro,
most
she could have
powerful.
ripped Thanos apart.
Oh yeah.
She could have ripped that glove right off Thanos' hand with her head. Like, not even doing
Yeah.
anything. She could have just pulled that glove right off his hand.
I mean, she's the only one that could do anything about fucking Apocalypto.
Yeah, when you see this movie, I think that they...
No, Apocalypse. That was wrong.
Yeah, Apocalypse. Yeah, she kicked his ass.
Hey, we never cheersed, by the way.
I'm empty, but I'll...
All right.
And that's the other thing, like, where they kind of fucked up. They showed that flame power from her during that, and then they show her get it in the other one. So, like, they kind of fucked the storyline up a little bit.
Right, because you already saw what she was capable of, like her,
yeah,
her
and then she did it again,
out.
and it was just like, but they claim that the power came from this cloud, and like, or a solar flare thing that eats through planets.
Right.
I think they could have done a better job with the storyline, but still, I thought like the visual, the fight scenes, everything was still better. And that's Sansa Stark, bro. I'm riding with Team Stark to the end. Like, did you watch Game of Thrones?
I saw. I'm not that big on Game of Thrones. I think we talked about this, dude. I cannot get past like half of the first season. I fucking fall asleep every time. I could fucking snort a 5-hour energy and shotgun a red line and sit down to watch like episode 4 of the first season of Game of Thrones, and I will fucking fall asleep, dude.
Bro.
And here's the thing: is I'm into. I love that like timepiece. I love medieval. I love that era. I like so many things about that. About what the show is about.
You're just exhausted from your children or something.
I don't know,
There's
dude.
no way. Like, dude, everybody that watches it pretty much gets obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Did you finish Breaking Bad?
Oh yeah, of course.
Couldn't finish that shit. I tried 3 times.
That's how I am with.
I tried 3 times. I got so stuck in the 3rd season that I just fucking finally gave up.
Yeah, I finished Breaking Bad.
But
finished
I watched
Dexter. I watched Dexter.
I don't think I finished Dexter, but I got pretty close.
The ending made everybody so mad.
Yeah, I knew what the ending was. That's why I don't really care.
But I think so. You know how they're doing like a Deadwood movie right now?
Yeah, I haven't gotten into Deadwood yet.
So Deadwood's super fucking cool.
I've heard.
I didn't finish it ever, but I think it got left open ended, like it was missing a season. Something happened, but Deadwood was really fucking cool. From what I watched of it, I've watched like the first 2 seasons. Deadwood was great, and now they're doing a Deadwood movie to kind of wrap everything up since they didn't have it in the production to like shoot an entire like season to finish it. And I feel like they got to do something like that with Dexter. They got to throw a fucking movie out there, finish it up, put everybody at so you can be at peace. So you can, what's it like when someone dies? Like they
Yeah,
won't.
you want closure.
Closure. There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
But what about shit? Now I forgot to fucking. This is why I jump so fast, because if I don't, it's gone.
What we need to do is take a pen and paper and put it right here in the middle,
and just scribble shit
whenever
as fast as
when you're
can.
sitting here and like I'm talking and you think of something, fucking write it down real quick. That way we can go back to it because.
What about Black Mirror?
We've already talked about Black Mirror.
No, but have you watched? You've watched all of them, right?
Yeah. Actually, I haven't watched fucking what's the movie? I didn't watch that one.
Bandersnatch wasn't that good.
Yeah. We've already talked about this. Don't bore our dedicated fans who've watched all these episodes.
Maybe we got new fans.
Yeah, well they can go back. They're logged. Go back. We got a 24 episode body of work right now.
I might have got a.
I think how many episodes am I on now?
Oh, dude,
12, 15, 14?
At least.
Over half. Over half.
At least. So I might have a guy from Apple that's going to come sit down with me if I can get him to do it. And there's a DJ that's pretty big in town, I guess. Actually,
I know the one.
And he said he'd come do it too. I think it's like DJ. I think my friends call him DJ Ramen Noodle or something because his hair looks like ramen noodles, but he's like darker complected skin. Does he have that like? You know the rapper Russ?
Yeah.
He kind of looks like him, but he's got bleached hair and skinnier.
So he's got his hair looks like
super curly.
Old Timberlake mixed with Russ.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. It's hilarious. He's cool though. Like he was spinning it up. We were at the Hash Kitchen a few weeks ago, and he was up there.
I went to there's like a Lily's like Asian market right next to my house, and they always got those Asian markets always got like the rawest like bulk forms of meat you can buy there. You can just get whatever cuts you want, and they got all kinds of seafood and. Me and my daughter like seafood, and I told her I made some flounder a couple weeks back. I'm like, honey, do you know what we're eating? I'm like, we're eating flounder, and she's like, we're eating flounder, like from Little Mermaid. I'm like, yep, flounder, just like that. And I didn't know how she was gonna respond to it. I thought she was gonna get mad at me for killing flounder or something like that, and she was just like, oh, so cool, I love flounder, and I was like, awesome. I don't think they grasp the concept that you have to kill things in order to eat them.
Yeah, but man. As long as it's delicious.
And then my daughter, so my daughter likes fish. She'll eat anything. And then my girlfriend is a little more picky, but she doesn't like seafood, and her daughter doesn't like seafood. So we were walking around, and the two girls like were like, "Oh my God, there's fish! Like this one has no head, that one has a head. Look at the eyeballs." They're just like having a blast walking around the Asian market. But I bought some of those whatever the super hot ramen that are like the Samyang super
Those
hot
things
ramen.
will burn your ass.
Yeah, we'll have to eat one or something.
Yeah,
And,
we still got to do a couple. I was gonna go get ATL wings before we started this, but I didn't have time.
I found the single most hottest wing that will ruin your life. And if you ever want one, let me know because I'll go pick them up.
I mean, I feel like we're obligated to do it for the show.
Yeah, I don't even know if I want to do that again. I'll eat anything fucking hot. I think we talked about it on the show before,
yeah,
right?
it ruined you.
Yeah, dude, it ruined me. Look,
I
go
feel
back
like
a couple episodes.
They let the hot sauce expire and go bad before they put it on just to make you sick.
I don't know.
It's like, this isn't hot enough. Let's just make them vomit.
You know what? When I bit into that wing, near the bone, there was like red oil in there. And I'm like, dude, they must have injected this thing with like Reaper blood and just let it soak and fucking oh my God. It was the most ridiculous thing.
All right, I'm changing my mind now. I don't want it.
It was ridiculous. It was no. I'll eat anything hot. So I have some hot sauce. I just made some hot sauce the other day at the house. Just a little trial run of some flavor. Like I think that one I gave you was just like a throwaway sauce. Like one I was just trying out.
Gave me the throwaway shit. You didn't give
I was
me
just
the good
trying.
shit.
I was just trying out some flavors and was like, we'll see how it goes. And then I'm like, that's not one we're gonna stick with. This one I just made is habanero jalapeno, and habaneros like they can be hot, but they're not insanely hot. And this my buddy Kyle was over a couple of days ago helping me move at the new house, helped me do a couple things around there.
Clearing out some sheetrock.
That was Bill, yeah. That kid, I feel bad for that kid. He got tagged in every single monster.
That's why I hope to God they never make something funny about a Keegan, or it's never gonna end.
No, they're not going. You're not popular enough name.
I was scared that the Kardashians were gonna name one of their daughters Keegan and ruin my life because they all have like Kim, Chloe, like Kendall, all of them, and I was like, don't do it because right now it's neutral.
So Kyle was over, and I just made this hot sauce, and he had helped me like build a bunk bed and move some stuff around in the house. Like I built a big bunk bed with a trundle bed underneath it for the girls. Did all this stuff. And they were getting ready to leave, and I was like, "Oh, take a bottle of that hot sauce I just made with you." And he's like, "Oh, I love hot shit." And he just like he's buzzed up already, so he just like rips it open and like tilts it back and just starts dumping it in his mouth, and he's like sucking on the little cap that's on there, and all of a sudden he's like just starts coughing up a lung. I'm like, well, you were inhaling it. How'd you say shit hit the back of your throat? Like just dab it on your finger like a normal person, you fucking animal.
Yeah, some people, they get a little too overzealous with the hot sauce, and they have to learn lessons. The best is when they start losing their shit and they like start wiping themselves and touching themselves, and you're like, oh, you're so fucked right now. Like you just touched your face 3 times with those hands and they're not clean. And then all of a sudden you see like the red marks across their face start like flaring up, and you're like, you'll be blind in 20 minutes.
Dude, I've had some very, very insane experiences with hot sauces and hot stuff and just spice in general. I'm pretty convinced that it's a drug at this point. You hit euphoria eating it. I have anyway.
Yeah. And then you hit euphoria again at about 3 a.m. when you're shitting your brains out on the toilet, and you're like, God, I won't do it again. I swear to God.
Other than that one hot wing from fucking Mike's Wings or Crazy Mike, whatever the fuck it is, over on like 53rd Ave and Bell. Other than that one hot wing, I've never had any shit like that happen.
Yeah, so I've had it. I've got twice, and I've learned lessons. Like I just don't do that anymore because it ruins like the whole day, and maybe some of the next day, and partial of your anus. So you kind of like you learn after a while. It's just not worth it. What are you doing this weekend? You still trying to get in the house?
Yeah. I gotta actually right before I came over here because I was waiting for you to get home. I mounted and hung the TV in the living room. I was like, I don't know if I'm able to get this, do this by myself, but I was like, whatever. So I found the studs, drilled the holes, boom, grabbed the 60-inch. I already had like the mounts on the back, and there's a spot where the top just hooks on, but the bottom you have to like slide into like a little bar. It like does this deal on, Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get that. And no joke, I was like picking the TV up, and I'm like feeling for it, all awkward in the back, like holding a 60-inch TV, and I had got it up and fucking slid it over and heard it shink, and I was like, did I just get that on the first try? And then I was super scared to let go of it, so I'm like, and like turning, looking around the back. I'm like, oh shit, I
when
got
you
it.
know
first
there should
try.
be failure.
Got it first try, dude. It's a good day.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go paddleboarding tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
I mean,
It should be fun.
Get up early, go knock it out, go do that for a little bit. I'm going to try to smoke some ribs Sunday. As soon as I get done with this, I'm going to try to smoke some ribs. But I don't know if I have time tonight.
No, you don't
takes
have time.
like
You don't
8
have time
hours.
tonight. I mean, it doesn't have to take that long, but you don't have time tonight. The soonest you'd be able to eat after I leave in about 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes, the soonest you'd be able to eat would probably be like 8:30, 9 o'clock, which that ain't going to fly in my household, but I don't know what you guys do around here.
Well, yeah, we don't have kids, and we can like snack up to it.
And you don't work at like 4 a.m., so.
No, I do not. Well, not normally. Once in a while, that shit has to happen, but I try not to. So,
yeah.
I'm going out of town in a couple weeks, so I don't know if we're gonna be able. We might try to put one in the books, shoot a podcast, but
if I get more done around the house, gotta satisfy the girlfriend. If I get more done around the house, then I'll be able to come over here. Like, I don't know if you're able to get done with work a little early here and there, or like if you.
We'll figure something out.
Figure something out. Yeah.
But all right, well, this has been a quick one. We want to get going. I haven't eaten yet today. I'm fucking starving. Good luck with your teams this weekend. All you guys trying to figure out who the hell you're gonna put in, and obviously you're not leaving Brady on the bench. You better not.
Yeah, don't. If you're a Patriots fan, don't sit Brady on your bench so you can start Baker Mayfield. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, I didn't do it last week, and I still lost, but it's all good.
Hey,
all good.
Quick one before you close out. What is your favorite animal and why?
Growing up, it was always a monkey, but that's only from like afar. I've never actually got to spend time with a monkey and play with it. So things that, I just think they're cool that they have the ability to do all kinds of cool shit and they have personality. They act like they got like some, they got their own thing they do. And I don't know. I think those are kind of cool, but I have to think about that some more. Like, I'm sure there's something else that
I think maybe we'll start closing out the end of the podcast with like a what's your favorite and why type thing, and we'll do like at least one at the end of our podcast.
Okay, and then no, you ain't answering the animal question.
Wait, I'm not allowed to answer it?
All right, go ahead. You can answer it.
Mine was always a bear. They're like the
fuzzy.
Yeah, big old fuzzy bear.
This guy.
They're just the apex predator of North America, and I don't know. They got some character. Not as much as a monkey, I guess. And, yeah, those have always been my favorite.
You ever seen a bear shaved?
Oh,
it's fucking
dude.
scary.
Or, like, when they get, like, mange and lose their hair.
Bro,
fucking terrifying.
If you were walking through the woods and there was a shape, like, I'm telling you right now, I think it would just be hilarious that in the middle of the summer, like right at the beginning or mid of spring where you're not really going to affect a bear, just catch them right out of hibernation and shave those fuckers. Like, go trank like a bunch in the woods and shave them and just let them roam and like all over the place, like looking for food and shit, and bait food out in the open and just scare the hell out of some small town. I think that would be hilarious. And I'm sure that, that's cruelty to animals, but how do you know they don't want a haircut? It's hot as fuck. That's why they're always scratching their back up against trees.
Maybe. You know what's interesting about polar bears is their hairs are actually like hollow, and they actually with the sunlight, it sucks the sunlight in, helps them heat up. But when they get too warm, that little hollow hair actually helps push the pores open, and it pushes the heat out. So they got functionability with their coat, with their coats. So who knows? Maybe the other bears are different. But all right, I fucked up your outro. You can finish up. We get out of here.
No, we're good. That was good. That was a great little piece of information. I didn't know that. That's neat. So. Thanks, everybody, for watching the Bernie Dyke podcast. Keegs and Kota, we're going to have a great weekend. Hope you do, too. And share, like, and comment. Do all that good shit. So thanks again. Talk to you next time. Whoop.